Today on the Canadian Way, the 2013 Toyota Highlander. We know it's the third Toyota. People, we need car to review, so please check out the link in the description below.
Bonjour, hi. I borrowed this Toyota Highlander from my mom. Hi mom! The Highlander arrived in 2000 on the Canadian market, and this generation Highlanders arrives in 2007 and ends up in 2013. When this Highlander was new, it worth $36,000, but now it worth $18,000. Speaking about the exteriors, it's elegant, it's beautiful, but it's not a flashy SUV. Let's talk about wheels and tires. These tires are 245, 55, or 19. These are pretty expensive to replace. Otherwise, there's not much to say about the exterior. Beginning the interior of the Highlander, let's talk about the window behind. Just press of a button and you can easily draw away some object behind the trunk. Or you can open the liftgate with a press of a button on the key fob. This is how long it takes to open the liftgate of the Highlander. Now the third row seat is up and I have 290 liters of cargo space. I'll show you how easy it is to fold down the third row seat. All you need to do is pull the latch here, keep it, push it down, do the same thing on the other side. C'est ça. Now that the third row seat is down, you have 1,189 liters of cargo space. And most people will keep the third row down for their groceries or stuff like that. If you want to lower the second row seat, example, you're at the Cine Park. Now that the second row seat is down, I did not fold down the other seats because there's a baby seat. We have 2,700 liters of cargo space, which is huge. Getting on the second row of the Highlander, look how wide the door open. And how plenty of space I have here. There is cup holders, one on each side of the door, and just if it was not enough, there's two other cup holders here. There's a nice feature to the Toyota Highlander. You can change the center console in the back. Before, you need to remove the center console. There's a little clip here that you just pull. Easy task. You move this one. There you go. And you have another two extra cup holders. So now, 2, 4, you have another 6 cup holders in the back. And then all what you need to do is I forgot that you need to remove this one, and before installing it, good to know, replace the other one here and then place this one. There you go. Overall, this feature is useless because they could just have some cup holders in this one and had extra storage space on the front center console.
Cameraman in action, yeah.
Getting to the third row seats, those seats does not flip over the driver's seats. You have to pass over it. Behind the second row seats, it's pretty comfortable. I have a lot of space. There's cup holders on each side. Only thing I need to mention is the way the second row seat flip. Getting inside the front seat of the Toyota Highlander, the door is open pretty wide. The seat position is pretty good, and the leather seats are pretty comfortable. Steering position is pretty good. As usual, Toyota really loves cup holders. Cup holders. Cup holders. Another cup holders. Cup holders. I love the fact that Toyota still use those big knobs, because you can use it on winter with some gloves that you don't have to touch the touchscreens, and I really love them. But as mentioned in my previous video of my RAV4, for the fan, it's still a button, and I'm not a big fan of those buttons. For some people, the USB port and auxiliary port can be very inconvenient because the shifter is pretty close. The center console here that I was speaking previously has a normal size. It could have been bigger if they didn't have a storage space underneath for the rear center console. Starting the feature of the Toyota Highlander, behind the back seat you have the climate control, which is pretty amazing for a 2013. You have different kind of mode. You can have the air in your face. Thanks for those fans here. You can also have it at the bottom of your feet, which is pretty amazing. Temperature can be adjusted in degrees Celsius, and you can also have auto mode. But I've noticed that sadly there is no power outlet in the back. This is made for the backup camera. I don't know what Toyota thinks about it, but the smallest backup camera I've ever seen. But you have a backup camera. Toyota has the downhill control on their Highlander, and there's also snow mode, which I use it in the winter and it's pretty good. It helps to have a lot of traction in the snow. Radio control is pretty easy to use, and the sound system is better than the average in its class. The Toyota Highlander also have the radio control on the steering wheels and have Bluetooth. Another nice feature that the Toyota Highlander have is that you can use the climate control on the steering wheel. Overall, the Toyota Highlander 2013 was very well equipped for the price when it was new. This Toyota Highlander used a V6 3.5 liter that produced 270 horsepower and 248 foot-pounds of torque. It matched a 5-speed automatic transmission, and it averaged 13.8 liters per 100 kilometers. It has disc brake on each wheels and independent suspension on each corner. It also tows 5,000 pounds. Driving the Highlander, this truck is really comfort oriented. Like when I take bumps with the Highlander, I feel almost nothing. The steering is soft, but not vague. The acceleration are pretty good for a huge truck like that. a sports Highlander. Hey, we're reviewing this one right now. The drivetrain is good, but the only drawback is that it's a 5-speed transmission, automatic transmission, and we could have had a 6-speed automatic transmission for having a better fuel mileage. The visibility is good, and the sound deadening of this vehicle is one of the best in class. The brakes are good, but in an emergency, the front hand tempted to collapse. To conclude, the Toyota Highlander is very comfortable for everyday driving, and the fuel economy is pretty good. So to conclude, the Highlander is very comfortable and very practical. This is a great family hauler. When it was new at 36 grand, this would have been a Canadian masterpiece. But today, at 18 to 20 grams, this is a little bit expensive for a 7-year-old vehicle. This is why it's Canadian approved.